Jones Experience, reporting from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Do I look okay? Okay, good. I am here with the cast and creators of SuperHero Snail Boy. So, I am going to go around, and why don't y'all introduce yourselves and who you play and what you do in this experience.
My name is Henry Regan. I play Inari, who's the 11-year-old kid, and I'm also artistic director of Vertical Line Theatre.
All right.
I'm Lizzie Munsey, and I play Liesl, Tilly, and Mrs. Dale in SuperHero Snail Boy, and I wrote it as well.
Well, fancy that.
I'm Ross Stanley, I'm the creative director of Vertical Line Theatre, and I play Picture and James.
I'm Kevin Varty, and I play the Snail, and Lucas, the dad, and also one of the bullies.
You bully. And I saw the show the other day, and it is the most heartwarming little, it's just, I actually cried through most of the show in a way that is, I didn't have a headache at the end. I actually just felt better. It's a very beautiful story. Who's going to tell me a synopsis of the show?
Lizzie Munsey, the writer.
Pressure. The show tracks the emotional journey of its two protagonists, a young boy called Inari and a young girl called Tilly. And they're both struggling in different yet quite similar ways. And we follow their sort of path to the beginnings of their recovery. And they find friendship and inspiration from a giant snail that carries the weight of the nighttime.
Oh, right. That was good. And are you guys actually eating nachos with haggis?
Yeah.
Nachos with haggis. A local delicacy.
My aim was to write a piece of theatre for young people that explored childhood depression, which sounds very cheery, and that was based on some wonderful picture books and things that I'd found for children by the likes of Sean Tan and Michael Rosen. And it really just came from there, from the idea of, trying to explore those themes which very much affect children but get very little airtime in any kind of media.
Sure, yeah.
So, because it was interesting and important.
And did you guys workshop it before you brought it here, or?
Yes, we did.
It's had some airtime already.
Yes, we run a new writing night called Line Up in association with Greenwich Theatre. We do it there at the theatre. And the first one of those that we did, one of Lizzie's SuperHero Snail Boy was one of the shows that we chose to showcase. So we did a 10-minute extract there. And after that, we decided to then produce the piece and do the full show up in Edinburgh. And then, so before coming to Edinburgh, we did a week's rehearsal and development, and then and Lizzie rewrote a lot of stuff from that, and we brought Anna on board by then as our director. She was there to help develop it and kind of run the R&D stuff.
And we had Sophie Wonderland as well. So Sophie came in as a dramaturg on the script. I think when you can speak to her, like Anna and Sophie and Lizzie all worked together in making that script into something that was ready to go on stage and out of the page and into the rehearsal room. We played around with the characters as well. From our own experiences, so I definitely made Inri more OCD than he is, just because of me. But yeah, that's lovely that we had the opportunity at the time to do that, even though the actual rehearsal time was very small.
Oh, absolutely.
It did feel like there was enough space to have those ideas. Right. And the amazing Lizzie Munsey sort of just brought in scripts every day at different scenes. So working that one out, aren't you?
Well, it's great to have a dramaturg. A lot of the pieces that I've seen have needed a dramaturg, and I know that maybe they're workshopping it here first, which is great. But it's never too early to bring in a dramaturg. No. If you have the right one, and it sounds like you guys found that.
Yeah, what Sophie did, Sophie and Anna, what they did was they compiled the rehearsal that sort of opened up the world rather than anything on the text, opened up the world for us. So we played in that world. We did something. We played amazing games like Superhero Tag, everything.
Yeah.
That's where octopus arms came from.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, good.
So yeah, it was an amazing time for us to play, and for Lizzie almost to take a step back and look at what was going on in that world. I think that's where it's think that was
Yeah.
so nice to, even as an actor, that was amazing. It was
Yeah.
nice
We
to-
previously worked with Sophie on lineup as well. She was part of lineup one. She directed First Live.
First Live,
So we knew like what she was capable of and how good she was and how sensitive to the whole process she was. And yeah, I was quite ignorant to what a dramaturg was until this project, and it now is something that I would always see as invaluable. It's something that we can always use because yeah, there's a real important role to play.
And one of the things that was my favorite thing about the piece is simply that you were able to keep the whimsy and also lightly carry the material as well. It would be really easy for that to get really dark soon, and you've constructed something that has so much whimsy and wonder in it, and to be able to keep that intact, that was what came through in all of your performances, which was like my favorite part. Yeah, it was.
It is a fine balancing act.
Yeah.
Because it's such a contentious issue, and a lot of people, especially adults, feel uncomfortable with just the idea that children are experiencing these things and just want to pretend that it doesn't happen. So yeah, the play is still to a degree dividing opinion, but thankfully I think the mood in British theatre is changing, and when we're not patronising our kids as much as we used to.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've realised that kids actually enjoy dark material.
They're probably more than we give them credit.
Yeah.
That's what also sort of Anna's taught us, because Anna's from Belgium, and she talks about the children's theatre there is very different, and it is dark, and it is not patronising at all, whereas here it's very mollycoddled, which I think is really important, because people don't want to be mollycoddled. They want the Toy Story, the Shrek effect, that kind of
Right.
where it can be appeal to all ages, but universally everyone's watched a show they enjoyed. There's just different levels of understanding. People get different things. So even though ours is 8+, even if younger children come, they absolutely love Six now. Really, and they love the lights and everything to do with that. And the older ones sort of get the levels when our age come out crying because they really understand the complexities. So yeah, look at them, just chatting.
They're just trying to steal our thunder over there.
Can't go
She has
anywhere.
curlier hair than me, so I'll give her that.
It's always something.
How have the audiences been? Have you had a lot of children come and see it?
We did a week in Hyde Park. A week in Hyde Park
Wonderful!
before we came here at a different festival, and we had 200 to 400 children every day, which was amazing, and they loved it.
Tom runs the Bedlam.
So when we did it for solely school groups and loads and loads of children, they loved it and responded really positively. It was quite a different show for them though, so lots of the stuff that they found hilarious, that since we've been here, we've had less children.
Right.
Just because
I think the nature of the Fringe is
Yeah.
just like that.
and so it is sort of a different show now.
We have done a couple of shows just to adults as well, which was an interesting twist of fate. And it made for a really great show actually, and they were just as receptive to the whole thing. So
Yeah.
it just goes to show that children's theatre has kind of evolved and it's moving on.
And adults do love poo jokes just as much as children.
Yeah.
That's I think why they have kids actually,
Yeah.
is so they can enjoy those all
They
over
love
again.
poo.
Well, and that is, I mean, I didn't think of it at all as a children's show, and I didn't know that it was. And then when I saw it, there was a couple of little ones, and they were so cute because they were just so like about everything in the show, and an adult gets to do that again because you guys create amazing magic on stage, and the vision of all the props and the art and all of that is all so succinct. It all has a very common. You needed to talk about the snail costume.
Oh, the snail
And-
costume is wonderful.
And did the
yes.
person who did the snail costume do the entire view
Yeah,
of the?
our very good
yeah.
friend Georgia Twigg, who is an artist,
It's
who has no
brilliant.
experience in set or costume design prior to this.
What?
Came along and did it all for us whilst holding down a full-time job as well. So just work throughout the night, and it's wonderful. And I think
Someone needs to buy that woman a beer.
yeah, many beers have been bought already and will be bought in the future.
God.
But I think it's so wonderful that we've had someone who doesn't kind of know the theatre language and hasn't trained as a set designer, because it looks fresh, it looks different, it's not, you know, confined by the way that people usually do things, and
Yeah, because it had such a fresh feel to it. I had no idea she'd never done that. I mean, everything about it, it read so well. Wow, that's impressive. We need to know how it's been walking around all of Edinburgh in the snail costume, passing out flyers. That's what we need to know about.
It's been eventful. Yeah.
It's okay if it was awful.
Well, I mean, it's a very hot and sticky suit.
Yeah.
Even in Scottish weather. God knows what it would be like if we ever went out to LA.
Yeah, you need a
I'd
ventilator.
be half the man I am now.
Oh my God.
In fact, I might do that. It's crazy the amount of attention that it's been receiving. Like my first day flyering on the Royal Mile, I was interviewed by Sky News and photographed by the Scotsman. And I'm not doing anything. Usually on the Royal Mile you get, you know, hundreds of flyers all go, please see my show, 5-star comedy. And there's just this grumpy snail who's, you know, just looking at his feet going, oh God, my life.
Yeah.
And not offering anyone flyers, and yet people in their droves come up to me and ask for a flyer, and I'm saying, well, if you must. And it really works. It works as well that I'm saying, don't bother seeing the show.
Yeah.
That just, heightens their interest even more.
Yeah, I think we need to try that, because I saw you our first day on the mile, and you were by far my favorite thing. I was like, the snail, I want to see the snail show, because you were just wandering around being grumpy. It was amazing.
I think the meaning Kevin is, the better the response he gets, which is brilliant. Which I think says something about
With
the
a few
audience.
exceptions.
Yeah.
A few exceptions.
That's why Lizzie's there.
Damage control.
Did you get some snark? Did you get some snark coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoilt a little boy's day before by...
They're going to have to learn to deal with that at some point, so it's good that they get it early on.
I didn't know that it was a fresh henna tattoo.
Oh! Did you touch it?
Yeah, I
You
did.
ruined his henna.
Swish and slow.
That was a very awkward moment. Made even more awkward by the fact that I was stood in a giant snail suit. Dismal.
That actually might be a good place to end. I do have one last question though. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about that you haven't had a chance to, or a question that somebody has never asked you that you wish that someone would? And go.
I wish someone would ask, do you want to do this show in America? And
Do
the
you
answer-
want to do this show in America?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think Snail would do well on the Sunset Strip.
I recommend coming in what we call winter, because it'll be just like the weather here.
I want to see Snail with those big, like, black glasses on, like, walking
That would be
down, like-
amazing. That would be amazing. Have any of you been to LA before?
No.
Oh, well then we have to get you there. So it's up to you guys now. Let's get the SuperHero Snail Boy to Los Angeles. Yeah. We can do it. We all can. Signing off from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, it's Dylan Jones. Ta.